Good morning. How are you all doing? Sarah here. I'm just stitching an ancestor doll in preparation for a workshop circle that I'll be holding next month, and I just wanted to ask some questions to my ancestor doll about what we should do in this particular circle, because everyone is always different. So I'm making her to just see what wisdom she comes up with. And that's the point of making these dolls, is that they, while you're stitching and concentrating on the stitching, so they often come up with some pearls of wisdom. And actually, there's a big blue ass fly in here. What she came up with is just saying that not the old ways are not obsolete. And this is something that's kind of dear to my heart, is that we're very quick to embrace new technology, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with new technology, but AI in particular seems to be taking away our creativity a little bit. As an artist and a creative generally, I guess, it's very easy to go online into ChatGPT and ask them to make a poster or something like or music, or composing music, or any kind of artwork, any creative work, as well as information, and that in itself kind of takes away our ability to tap into our own creativity, I believe. For example, something that has been on my mind for a little while is Google Maps in your car, or whatever app you happen to use for navigating your way from place to place. I mean, when I started driving, which was a very long time ago, I have to say, my father showed me how to use a road map and how to navigate my way, to do a little bit of reconnaissance before I started, so I didn't, get in the car, drive, and then think, oh goodness, what road do I need to take? So, I would plan my journey. I think I had one of those AA road maps or something of the sort. And I would plan my journey, and I'd probably make a note of it on a bit of paper that I could then stick to my windscreen. And away I'd go. And to be honest, I never got lost. I'd take a little bit of time to plan my journey, and I would know where I was in the country because I looked at a bigger map. Or in Europe, for example, home is here, I need to go here, so I'm going in a southwesterly direction across the country, or whatever it happened to be. And on one occasion, a few years back now, I had been going to stay with a friend down in near South Wales, and it's a journey that I've only done a few times, but I thought I knew where I was going because I have done it before. So I was a bit blasé about having a look at the map before I left, and I jumped in the car, and this was coming back from her place actually. Jumped in the car, started driving, missed a turning because I wasn't really paying attention to the signposts, and found myself along an unfamiliar road. Now, I then wasn't sure where I was going to end up, and it would be might take me miles out of my journey. So I kind of panicked a little bit then, because I hadn't got the map in the car with me. It was in the boot, and okay, I could have stopped and got it out of the boot, but I didn't. I kind of thought, oh my goodness, I don't know where I am. Stopped the car and thought, right, okay, I'm down a country lane, and there are no road signs or no obvious road markings, telling you what road you're on. And I thought, how on earth am I going to find my way home? But I knew home was north of where my friend lived. And I, at the time, felt I was going north, but wasn't sure. And anyway, luckily the clouds moved away, the sun came out, and I realised that the sun, as the time was, round about midday, obviously is in the south. So this is a bit of a long-winded story, sorry. The sun was in the south, and I was going in a westerly direction because the car was pointed in a westerly direction. So I knew that I need to be turning around and driving in a northerly direction, which is what I did. And eventually I came across a road that I recognised, and I was back on track again. But my point being that it seems to me that an awful lot of people now rely so much on sat-nav, Google Maps, Waze, whatever app you happen to use for driving, that you don't know where you are in relation to anything else in the country, that you're actually just following a voice telling you take the next turning on the left, or you're following a visual. And I've done it myself, where I've been following Google Maps, and I've absolutely no idea where I am. And so I tend not to use it very much. I might use it to just ascertain which roads I might be going on, but then I switch it off. I try to navigate using my own skills. And it seems to me that there's an awful lot of young people, and my children included in this, that don't know where they're going when they get in the car. They just get in, switch on their app, and away they go. And you only have to see delivery drivers going down the wrong road, or people taking the wrong direction, that sat-nav takes them in the wrong direction. So my point is that my ancestor was telling me that we need to retain some of our old ways of navigating, our old ways of circumnavigating our lives, not relying totally on technology, that we need to rely on our senses, that we know which are the cardinal directions, north, south, east and west, that we might know where the North Star is. So if we're traveling at night, we need to be able to move along that way in the right direction. And just generally not to rely so heavily on, this new AI technology, that we might just lose our creativity if we're not careful. That if we don't exercise our brains in the ways that our ancestors exercised our brains. So that was my thought, really, that this workshop to meet our ancestors is a way of tapping into those old ideas, those old ways, and not to forget them. And that we're all given different skills in our life that have been passed on from our ancestors, and that we should be grateful for those skills and not hand them over to a machine. And my skills, I guess, in this life that I've gleaned from my ancestors is some kind of creativity. All my family are creative in lots of different ways, not just as artists, but in many, many, many different ways. And my children have inherited that. And that is our ancestral skill that we passed on. Some families don't have any particular creativity in them, but they are creative in language or an ability to inspire people or what have you. So those were my thoughts today, that next time you're making an ancestor medicine doll, and do come to my circle in Llanidloes on the 11th of July if you're local to me, just drop me a message. And we explore all these kinds of thoughts that, you know, not letting go of some old ways, and you know, as I said before, technology definitely has its place, but we need to be in control of it rather than the other way around. So I'm going to take Rafi for a walk on this really lovely day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Do, if you can, tick the like box, subscribe, it all helps. The algorithms don't move me along. The machine, the technology doesn't move me along if you don't do a human thing like press the button and say that you like. Okay. Thank you so much. Speak to you all soon. Ciao for now.